I'm taking Echo on a little hike right now. Dodger's kind of recovering still. He's still got his busted up leg because he tripped on a rock, and so his knee's busted. And I'm going to take him for surgery, but it's going to be a couple more weeks here, I think, until he can get into the vet. But until then, I'm trying to take Echo on little hikes, and gosh, I miss Dodger out here a lot. You guys see this tiny praying mantis on my finger? It's so little. And if you're wondering, yes, I have Mr. Echo on his leash. I saw a rabbit running around today near camp, and I just haven't seen any there. I think they're coming out because you can see how wet it is out here. The rabbits come out after a rain, like all the animals do out here, because there's so much. Everything's clean out here and green. It's just everything. All these colors are popping. I hope you can see that. And Mr. Echo was watching the rabbit in our camp today. He was tied up, so he didn't take off after it. But Mr. Echo, he can book all the way out there to the edge of, that's probably to the edge of those trees right there. You know, it's kind of a flat, rocky area, and then you hit these trees out there. That's probably at least a couple hundred yards. That's probably further than that. It's probably 300 yards. I mean, he could be out there to that little tree line in seconds. I mean, he's so fast. The plants out here are so colorful today. Look at that. And the flowers are all blooming. They're all open. It's crazy out here. And if you want to find crystals out here, right after rain is really the time to do it. The hard part is that the sun is, you can see it's pretty well occluded by the clouds right now. And the best technique that I found for finding crystals is using the sun. So it doesn't quite work when there's clouds out. But what you do is you walk towards the sun, which is back that way, and then you glance at the terrain, and you'll see the sparkle. I mean, it's a sparkle. It's like a diamond. And then you just focus on that. You walk to it. You walk right to it. Hopefully you don't lose the sparkle. And then you can find your gem. And a lot of times you'll find little pieces of crystals. It might just be one little side of it, just like one little edge, like one little facet kind of thing. But sometimes you'll find like fairly complete little crystals out here. I'll spend hours out here looking for crystals. And I think probably about every 10 minutes I'll find one. And so it gets really rewarding. It gets kind of addictive too, because you keep thinking, oh, what am I going to find next? So hopefully just while I'm hiking out here right now with Mr. Echo, I'll run into a couple and I'll show you what I find. But honestly, I don't like walking with Echo on the leash. He's really good on the leash, so that's not what I'm complaining about. It's just the idea of he just gets so much more exercise and he enjoys it so much more if he's running around. And he's really good. Like he could be way out there and I'll call him back and he'll come right back, unless he's chasing something. Then he doesn't listen to me at all. So if you probably saw in my last couple videos ago, he had run away when we were out here, pretty far out here, almost a mile out. And like, I have to use my GPS to find my way back. And he didn't. He found his way back to camp, luckily. He was pretty beat up. You can see in that video his paws were thrashed. Now this is a few days later, several days later, and his paws are totally healed up now. See, he's really chill out here. Like, he just wants to eat grass and putz around just like me. He's not like crazy. He's not trying to run away, and he won't just wander off. He'll stay, you know, at least fairly close to me. And if I tell him to hike with me, to stay right with me, he will. He'll be right next to me. It's just when something comes up, like a rabbit or a deer or a coyote or another dog or something like that, then chances are pretty high he's gonna just take off after it. But you can see not only are the plants like super vibrant green because they've been washed by the rain that we just had. We had a rain here all night and then pretty much all day today. But also the rocks get super clean. I mean, they're all washed now. So if you want to look for gems, this is the time to do it. Or cool rocks or whatever it is you want to find. This is the time to do it because they're not covered in just a layer of dust. You know, when we get winds out here, everything gets covered in dust. Your vehicle, your rig. Really though, quartzsite is not too bad for the dust. I've been in much, much worse places for dust, where just clouds of dust coming into your trailer and you have to have your windows open because it's hot. And you'll get dust covering your table, your everything inside the trailer. But here in quartzsite, you know, it does get a little bit dusty inside when I have the windows open, but it's really not bad at all. A lot of neat rocks out here. And that is really sharp. But what you start looking for out here is like quartz pieces that are really clear. See how that's really opaque white, but you can find stuff that's crystal clear. I mean, that's what they call it, right? It's crystals. I'll find some. Now the sun's peeking out here a little bit, so I just use my technique to kind of stand back and look in the direction of the sun at the ground. And I did find a little tiny crystal here. It's not really impressive, but it gives you an idea. See that little white thing right there? I mean, this is tiny. This is one that I wouldn't even keep, but I could see the sparkle, and it's a sparkle. So you can see how it's clear. See that little piece? So that little piece, I mean, you can see that sparkling in the distance. I was probably about 30 feet from it, and I could see the sparkle. I'll try and find a bigger one so I can capture the sparkle on camera. But I mean, that's how good it works. Like, you can find a tiny, tiny little piece like that. And then if you just check every single sparkle that you see, eventually you'll find some pretty big size ones. Bigger than this, anyway. Dodger. Dodger. It's these guys' dinner time. And I was just like, hey, Dodger, are you hungry? Dodger. Dodger, are you hungry? Are you hungry? Oh, yeah. And he was all excited. And I'm like looking at his back. I was like, oh, crap. He just hurt himself. I was like, holy crap. But, okay, wait. But all it is it's grease. I use that, what's it called? That Lucas oil, tacky red or whatever. So it's like red grease. You see, I got the campfire going over here because I'm going to cook up some fish and potatoes tonight. And Dodger hates fires. He doesn't like campfires. So he's kind of, I think he went under the hitch to get like under the truck, or he went under here where there's some grease. Somewhere he picked up grease. I don't know where. That's all it is. It's just grease. And that's why I didn't park my trailer like right next to the fire pit, because usually I'll camp right next to wherever the fire pit is. I think I figured out, man, that really creeped me out. I was like, holy crap, he got a big wound. That's happened before. He'll bump into the grease. I think I know where it's from. Actually, I think it's just from under the trailer, because he's got his busted knee, and so he can't kind of maneuver as good as he usually does. So I think he was probably trying to get under the trailer, and these pivot points right here, I keep these lubed up with that grease, and there's probably just some dripping down there, and he can't quite bend down low enough or something. Who knows? But I keep the trailer lubed, you know, every, I don't know, a few months or something. I'll come in here and squirt all these things, and same on the truck with the lube. I got a grease gun, and so I grease all these joints here. See, how you do it is you just clean these off, and then you attach your grease gun there, and then you just pump it until the grease kind of just starts to come out, or you pump it until the old grease comes out and you start seeing the new pink grease, and then you stop. It takes a while because there's a lot of points on here to do it, and there's 10 on the truck too, underneath the truck, that I got to keep lubed up. See, Dodger's all the way over here. He usually won't come near the fire, especially if it's popping and sparking. There he is. So I hope you're grateful, Dodger, that I kept the campfire so far away from camp this time. Really doesn't matter to me because I really rarely ever do a fire. In fact, I've probably only done 2 fires last year, 2 campfires. If I'm with other people, then I'll tend to have a campfire, but just by myself like this, it's really rare that I do a fire because, you know, in the trailer, I don't really get cold in there. You know, I got my dogs to snuggle with, plus I got a heater and everything. So I don't need it for heat. Today, really, the only reason I'm doing it is because it's a little cool today, because it rained. And that's why the fire is so smoky right now, because the wood's all wet. And then also I want to cook some fish. So I just take the fish and I put it in foil. Got some potatoes, put that in foil. I can do that all in there, but you know, why not? I want to sit outside. I've been inside a lot today because of the rain. And man, the thunderstorms. It's crazy thunderstorms today, really. Dodger didn't like that either. He heard the thunder a couple times. And it's funny when the thunder's going and if it's loud and I'm like, oh crap, he's hearing it, because he'll freak out. I mean, he'll start to kind of panic. You know, now that he's older, his hearing's not as good. So the thunder has to be really pretty loud and cracking and booming. And I think he feels the vibrations more than anything anymore. But he'll really panic, and it can be pretty miserable because there's no calming him down. So what I do is, if, you know, we're inside the trailer and you hear it or you start to feel it, and I can tell he's sensing it and he's kind of looking around. He's like, what's going on? I think there's thunder. Then I start to like talk really loud and distract him. I'm like, hey, or I'll like say his name really loud. Like I just try to be louder than the thunder. But then he knows, like, oh wait, you're doing that thing where you talk really loud, so I know that means there's thunder. And then it doesn't help. He's a good dog. So are you, Echo. Yeah. I can't wait to get Dodger's surgery done, but it's going to be a fiasco. In a sense, because, you know, we're in this trailer all the time and we're traveling all the time, and our 7-month permit is going to run out here in Quartzsite. So I think I'm going to be kind of hopping around from area to area for a couple weeks here and there, kind of thing. Not really sure exactly what I'm going to do, but we'll see. That's what some of our videos are going to be about for sure, is how I deal with getting his surgery done. I guess it's not too major of a surgery, but it has a fairly long recovery time. But it's going to be nice to hike with him again, because hiking with Echo is, you know, it's really fun. And I'm going to have to get used to it at some point, because Dodger he's almost 16 now. And, you know, he's not going to be around forever. So I will be, at some point, I'll be only hiking with with echo forever, so I kind of have to get used to it. This way. Buena.